So, Brother Will, you probably get this as the update. So that way you can see what I ended up doing. And my eye medicine is all over the place here. Let me see. Okay, good. So you can see what I ended up doing is I closed the SCMI trade. I had no other choice. The buying power was like over twice as what I got into it. I think my initial buying power was even much less than that. And it was like it got up to over 3 times the amount. And I don't like trades like that. And I wanted to free it up so I had more buying power for other trades, you know. Which is what happens, and that happened because when I made that adjustment to get more credit, of course, it increased the buying power just by a little bit. But no, actually, it cut off some buying power. But then SCMI went to 34%. In other words, it just went through the roof from where we were at. It went up. It was at like 35%. That it moved, and the volatility was just too much. So basically, the total credits was 672 of how much credit, but I had to buy it back for 838, which leaves it $1.66 loss, or 166 bucks of a loss. So basically, I don't mind that, okay, whatsoever. I do not mind. It's a lot better than what was happening early this morning. It would have been over twice as much. If I had not taken the credit, it would have been almost 3 times as much. So I don't mind getting, and remember, it's $1.66, which is, we'll see what percentage of the initial credit I had was 252, I believe, on that account, on that particular stock. Let's just check it out. In terms of the initial stock, let's go to the activity of it. The initial credit that I got in SCMI was 233, $1.66. So that's like what about let's see, of the credit, $1.66 is what percent of 255? $1.66 is divided by 2.55. So about 65% of our credit. And most folks take trades. Most folks get out of a trade when it is over twice their credit. So if I paid 255, a lot of times people will say close it at 1.5%. So that would be 7, about, let's see, 1.5. So that'd be 255. That'd be 5 plus $1. So basically around 700, some whatever. A lot of times folks will get out. In other words, they say when you take 1.5% of your loss of your credit, 1.5% of your credit. So 255 times 255 times 1.5. Okay. Or 150. So 2.55 times, what would that be? 1.5. 1.5. So 382. Which with all the credits that we got, we literally, 6 a dozen one, half a dozen the other. We could have gotten out a little earlier, but actually no, because it would have cost us more. We would have been down much more had we gotten out earlier. So I got out probably at the best that I could, even though market's kind of going back. I think it was the volatility, the fact the volatility kind of came out of it, because the volatility is at 664 and it was like at 79. So that kind of paid for some of, it kind of got us out in a ways where, it's not as bad. We probably could have stayed in, but, you don't know where this market's going to go. We paid 838 debit. if we were to do it again, I just did that like 10 minutes ago. I would have only saved like, $10. Okay, if I waited for 10 minutes, I'd save $10. Then it would have cost me 156 instead of 166. So I'm glad I did. I'm glad I got out when I got out, because this thing could go up through the roof before it collapsed. I still think it's going to zero. I still think that this stock is literally destined on death's door, even though you had these up days. When you have a stock that, again, they're talking about delisting, I don't like to be in stocks like that they talk about delisting. So anyways, I just wanted to show you, like I said, I'd give an update if I did anything, and that update is, I had to close that trade. It was taken up, the buying power, anytime that it takes over $2,000 of buying power for a stock that's 10% of that was what my credit was, I get out. Okay, because my initial credit was 250 or 255. And if my initial credit is 255 and my buying power is now, again, I don't like to take things, if it's three times the buying power, that's usually my threshold where I say, okay, I have to really do something about this. When it's, when it goes to three times the buying power, I'm kind of like, and that's where it was at Friday. And so I was like, I'm not going to close it yet because, it's a volatility thing, and that's what was accelerating it. But when it got to way over that, which is what today is, there's no way I would hold on that. Again, it's like your credit versus your buying power. And I'm always looking at that. My credit versus the buying power. So anyways, it is what it is, small loss, but, it's not like, oh my God. It's just that, I have a feeling that it will definitely have paid off in the end, without a doubt. Had I stayed in, it's just I don't want to spend the buying power to wait and see, because that thing could cost, instead of 10 times, it could cost 20 times the buying power, only to come back and pay us in the end. And I don't want to tie up that kind of, I just don't like tying that stuff up for that long. It just doesn't make sense. This stock is hilarious, Invax. That was the stock that I talked about when it went through the roof during the pandemic. And let me see if I could do this. I'm going to show you exactly this stock that I never got. I got into it at one time, but I got into it. It was like I got into it in 2019, 2020 for $4, something like that, $4. And in 2019, I got into it for like $4 in 2019. And I held it for like a year. It didn't do anything for like over a year. It was just like a dead stock. When the pandemic came in, this thing grabbed it and put it up to like $339. But I had gotten out because it was just a dead stock. It just literally did nothing for like a year. And I said, well, let me just let these options expire. I said, it ain't doing nothing. I might as well get out. Let me let it expire. It's a 90-cent loss, whatever. And then the next day after I got rid of the stock, the pandemic happened. And then it got as high as $400. And then now look where it's at now. It's right back down. It's traded like 11, no, not even that, $7. So literally that was the whole pandemic trade right there. I'll never forget that stock because I always kick myself saying, had I only done this. Cron is another marijuana stock, except it went down 25%. I'm just looking to see if now that I freed up some buying power, I'm just looking to see if there's something to trade. Liquid symbols, I want to do with high options volume. That's what I'm looking for. High options volume. There we go. Let's go to the IV rank, see if there's anything to trade while I'm here. Patterson, I've never traded that. It does have some Patterson UTI. It does have a little bit of liquidity. Let's go in and do that. No, there's nothing there. There's no granularity in terms of, there's nothing there. Okay, let's see what else. There's Pfizer. I'm not going to do Pfizer, even though, I mean, everything fits in Pfizer. Everything fits. It's just liquidity. I think we had no liquidity in there earlier. Looks better. See, if we went to the 22.5, that's 16 deltas. And we went to, okay, the 21 deltas. 53 out of 250, that's not enough. You're not getting enough credit to do this. What if we made these 2.5 strike, or 2.5 iron condors? You're only getting 34 out of 216. It's not worth it. Definitely not worth it. Seeing if something, let's see what Pfizer has done in terms of, see what Pfizer's done in terms of stock. Yeah, it's just collapsing. Yeah, I mean, it's barely up today. If I were to do this, since there's a lot of risk to the downside, let's go into our year to date. Okay, let's look at year to date of Pfizer. Yeah, but I wanted to just give you that update because I wasn't gonna leave you hanging. Once that SCMI went up to 34% rise, this thing could easily, do the same thing the next day, and then my buying power would just skyrocket. Yeah. So let's see. We've got high volatility. This thing, it's definitely trying to see if it could range. The only thing is it's already collapsed through to some ultra lows. Pfizer, $24 stock. We're just not getting enough credit. If we go to the 15 delta, if we could get more credit, see, that's only a quarter. No, that's 1/5 the credit. Even though you got an 88.69, you're making $1.20 a day. Let me see what would happen if we did a butterfly on this. If we had an upside butterfly, no risk to the downside, with limited risk to the upside, let's see what happens there. We had limited risk to the upside. We'll say, okay, we'll keep it at the 21 deltas. I was even thinking of what they call a jade lizard and seeing if you can basically protecting the upside and with unlimited downside risk. Nope, you're getting no credit for that. What about a reverse jade lizard? Okay. Unlimited upside, which I never do because I don't like naked calls unless I'm doing strangles. You're getting 42 cents of credit. Okay. And that's to the upside. Regular jade lizard. You're getting 38 cents of credit. And let's see what kind of risk. Yeah, so I mean, you still have upside risk. You have upside risk, 38 cents of credit, and you got a dollar between the strikes. So you're not the credit's not the credit is not paying for the trade. That's what a jade lizard does. The credit pays for the trade. Okay, that's a 50 cents. That's $2.50. So yeah, you would need order to there's no way a jade lizard. Okay, just saying, now let's go to I'm gonna go and see because I do like the Pfizer volatility. Let's see what we got if we did an upside butterfly. We'll do a butterfly at the 21 delta. Okay, this strike we'll do the 2-to-1, what they call a skip strike, and see. We'll double. Let's see quantity 2 of these. Okay, got $120, but we're only getting. Well, yeah, we're not even getting any credits for this. You need credit in order to do a butterfly, and there's no credit. We'd have to actually make this. See what happens if we move these. Yeah, no credit. You're barely getting. No, there's nothing here. So no on Pfizer. I just like the volatility in there, but it is what it is. So no on Pfizer. Let's see if there's anything in the February in terms of liquidity. See if we could do the same thing in February. Go to the 22 deltas, buy the 27 and sell the 30. See if there's anything there. You're only getting $1 credit. Nah. No. The only thing is I like the liquidity in here is a lot better. Nah, there's nothing. And then let's see about strangles or straddles. 16 delta. Look at all those contracts in the 16 delta. Gang loads. Let's go to the downside. We have kind of the same thing in SCMI. Let's see. Oops. Here we go. You're getting $61 at a 250. It's a little better. It's not great. It's a little better in terms of credit. 88% chance of making 50%. 70% chance. I kind of like it. The only thing is if Pfizer, I mean, if there's another pandemic, Pfizer is going to jump through the roof. It'll without a doubt. But it's just gotten destroyed. It's like volatility does want to come in. What are those? Let me see what those strikes are at. Okay, that's in February. Do I really believe that I want to stay in that stock till February? Maximum 61 cents. You're not really getting a third of the buying power. You're barely getting 1/8. So we'll keep it moving. Look at the SCMI volatility. The volatility just today brought that volatility down 18%. That's what kind of helped us a little bit on that. I mean, not perfectly, but a little bit. Probably could have made maybe $20 more since when I closed it. I think that's what I probably could have made about $20 more. Like I said, it usually goes up and then it pulls back because now it's only 29% in terms of its yeah, I could have made I could have saved about $20. Well, whatever. It's $20. I'm just glad I got out. $2,000 of buying power for a $250 credit is not what I like. EWZ. That was the one we looked at earlier, but what was the issue there? Yeah, we didn't have enough liquidity. Let's go into January and see if we got any liquidity. That's the 20 delta, 24 or 14 delta, 51 of $3. Nope. If we did this, we definitely get more credit. Delta, 6 deltas. Yeah. If we were to do this, we'd be getting 65 of 380. Still not enough. 89.65. Deltas. What if this went back a month? And we were in it for just a month for the 25.29. Yeah, we'd only make like $20 if we stayed in for a month. Not worth it. Let's go to I've never traded Hood. Hood looks like a disaster. Robinhood. They made some changes to Robinhood. They should have helped it out. Yeah, because they made some major changes this week. Volatility is still going up, so I don't want to go ahead and get into this. 10% volatility in 5 days means the chances are it'll try to go up even more. Let's see. And then the KRE, that was a condor. Boeing was also a condor. Let's see. KRE. See if there's any liquidity in January. Not really. We can go 19 deltas. 19. 17 deltas. 156. Oh, only 10% of the buying power. Nope. Let's see something here. We did $2 Condor strikes. Yeah. You're getting 1/3 the width of the strike. So it's not like terrible, but I mean, you got an 80% chance of making $25. This would be something that you would, you are delta neutral. This thing carry, it could dump on you because of that gap to the 60 strike. If you had to move these, again, I always look at what happens if you have to move strikes. I'd have to move this strike up. And if I did, from 52, 71, and now I'm still like around 1/3 the buying power. I don't mind this. I got some buying power back, but the thing is, I would have to stay in longer in order to make a couple of dollars. Let me see. Let me move this instead of the 19 delta. I'm going to move this up 22. So there we're getting 58 of 142. We get 1/3 the width of the strikes. If I had to move this up, I'd be getting 81. Yeah, so that'd still be 1/3 the width of the strike if I had to move that up. If I had to move this down, 74 at a 226, 22, 7 times 3. Yep, so that's kind of close. Okay, let's do this. Just to be cool, I'm going to take it up to 61 and see if I can get 61 cents in that trade. And then I won't go under 60 cents just because I just want to get into something, and it meets all the requirements. I just want to keep a trade going, That's the thing about this business. You're always wanting to stay engaged. Let me see. Let's go back to. I remember we had that Boeing trade, and Boeing was getting destroyed. Boeing's actually, the volatility went down a little bit, but let's check that trade out, because that was the one I was looking at. January. It's 59 days out. 21 deltas. 21 deltas. $5 strikes. Again, these are things that you want to like pick the profit up and get out. Maybe you get like 30%, maybe 50 if you're lucky. 162 at a 338. It definitely fits there. 161.70. The 60% probability of profit is a little scary. Okay, 21.17, 21.14 in our deltas. So if we had to move one of these strikes, 702, 298, so it's still, we're still getting 1/3 the width of the strikes if we have to, move it just because. But because of this thing, I want to see if that market will come to me. And then I'll get into Boeing. Now that I got all this buying power left. Yeah, I don't like tying it all up on that SCMI. I mean, it was a great trade, but I just had to get out of it, save myself, so I could get into some other things that aren't as volatile. Let's see what else we got. I've never traded Occidental. It's got a lot of contracts, though. Okay, that's been getting destroyed. This is what I like. Systematic mechanical trading. I'm not looking and saying, well, this company has to do that. I'll look after the fact, but I'm kind of curious why Occidental got destroyed. Why it's been getting hurt. Okay, Middle East and North Africa. So you would think, okay, after Trump, okay, Liberty, okay. Oh, U.S. energy sector. Yeah, okay. Against an oil-filled power outage in Norway. Interesting. Yeah, okay, yeah, because they're talking about unshoring everything out here, so that makes sense. Okay, but anyways, Occidental's just been getting destroyed. But volatility's been coming in. This thing can move $2.40 a day. So if it can move $2 a day, let's see what we have in terms of our deltas. Okay, 14 delta. It doesn't have enough strikes for me to really, take this seriously. 81 at a 504. Nope. Nope. Even if we tried to condor it with the one strike away condors. 38 of 212. Nope. This is definitely off the table. There's nothing there. AT&T, I like these in the 30s. The IV index got to be in the 30s. Let's see, Nike. No, not Nike. That's Next Gen. Another energy play. It came down to 9% volatility. Nope. Not when it comes down and volatility. That this Petro Brazil. Interesting. 9 million contracts, PBR. Okay, let's see what we got here. Again, everything's about staying mechanical. Total mechanics. Okay, what do we have here on our deltas? We'll go 22 deltas. 22, 23. There's not enough there's not granule in terms of the deltas. Definitely not there. 50 cents and 224 now. Because I'm looking at this of the granularity, and we're going from 23 deltas down to 8, means that there's something wrong. There's a gangload of at the money contracts, but in terms of the granularity of that, I wouldn't want to take the chance. So that's off the table. I like to see a lot of strikes in terms of deltas with a lot of volume, because that means I can move things around a bit. Same with Devon Energy. It's only up a little bit. The PBR was up CCJ, uranium. But, okay, where's that traded? Uranium. So I'm going to see that. Yeah. I want to see if there's anything interesting. Okay. TD Bank. Okay. Raises target price from 86 from 80. Interesting. 86 target price on this. Interesting on uranium. Okay, let's see what mechanical. See if there's anything there. Okay, 19 deltas. 17 deltas. 202 out of 575. This is 209 out of 575. This is looking like it might be in play. What do you got? Okay, this thing can easily go through, hit that double top, which is at the 58. So I know I'm going to end up moving these strikes. Volatility is just going up. That's the problem. This thing, because it's gone up here before, and it's top level. It's at 52. It could easily get to 84. This thing has ability to move $4 a day. If we were to move this $4 a day, it could easily get from where it's at to our short strike overnight. It could easily hit that overnight. So from the 57 to 53, we'd be down $44 overnight. 57 to 63, or 61, we'd be down about $40 overnight. Same thing with SCMI. We've got a gangload of skew to the upside. We'd be down 300 if it went directly to there overnight. Thing is, it's cool is you got 83% chance of making 50%, and you have 72% chance of making a penny or more. Buying power, the thing is it's just really, really what it does to your buying power is just, again, let's take an account CVAR and just see what CVAR would be on this, because I'm kind of curious. what the CVAR, how bad that would be. Definitely will require some capital, but I want to know what would our conditional value at risk be for this particular stock. Do I have the CVAR in there? Because I know they have it. Because I'm curious. The worst condition of the worst conditions to me is how bad could it get? Because I know they have it. The conditional value at risk on this. Yeah, AKW. Yeah, KW. I was just giving you guys the update on the one trade. Hold on for 1 second. Hey, KW. Yeah, I'm just going through looking for trades. Let's see what we got here. I'm trying to look at the CVAR, and I can't find the CVAR here. Okay, because normally I know it's in here somewhere. It should be. Okay, theoretical. Okay, extrinsic, realized, unrealized, underlying. I thought they had it. Ex-dividend. I thought they had it here. P&L. Net liquidity. Nope. Okay, net delta. We got the cap requirement, but I thought they had CVAR. I may be wrong. Anyways, I'm going to have to roll because I got a Braille class that starts. But anyways, I went ahead and threw Boeing on, threw KRE on, closed SCMI because the buying power, literally was just taken. There was no way I'm going to hold that for the amount of buying power. The buying power got ridiculously out there. And so I figured, hey, just let me get out of that. And it was a much less painful than it was early this morning, of course, like half as much. But anyways, I got to get ready for this class. Anyways, yeah, peace. Always good to see you there, KW. So anyways, if there's any updates, I'll do another video later on today. Take care.